Hello, my name is Blair and welcome to another Science is Cool. Today, we're gonna learn about the file name extension. This is for my grade 2 in computing science. In today's topic, it's all about file name extension. What is a file name extension? File name extension is a unique identifier of a computer file in a computer file system. Different file system impose different restriction on file name length, and a file name may depends on the file system, includes the name, which is the base of the file, and the extension, which indicates the format of a file. It's basically a first name and a last name, or your family name, which identify which family you belong. So, the components requires to identify a file by utilities and application varies across operating system, as the syntax and format for a valid file name. The characteristic allowed the file name depends on the file system from letters A to Z, and digits 0 to 9 are allowed by most file system. Many file system supports additional characteristics such as letters A to Z, special characters, and other printable characters such as accent letter, symbols, and non-Roman alphabets, and symbols in a non-alphabetic scripts. Some problematic characteristics, file system utilities, and naming conversion of various system prohibits particular characters from appearing in a file name or make them problematic. Except such as otherwise stated, the symbols, characters like slash, backslash, question mark, percent, asterisk, colon, and so on, are not allowed to be used in Windows file name, but can be used in Unix, which is including our Mac, iPad, and iOS, and also including Linux such as Big Linux, KDE, Linux Mint, Ubuntu, Xiomi, and so on. Today we're gonna learn about the 4 file name extension. Picture files are the images that is containing some symbols or a picture or a created art, only visualizing without any sounds. This file name extension is either in JPEG, PNG, or BMP. For example, Microsoft, most of them are using the bitmap or the BMP because they have that as the original or default file name, while the PNG and the JPEG are Unix and Linux. But right now, because of the internet, we have the name extension to be viewed not only in Windows but also in Unix, which is Mac, and of course we have our Linux, including our KDE Neon, Ubuntu, Debian, Big Linux, Linux Mint, Arch, and so on. Next is our video file. The video file name extension is commonly used .mp4, .avi, and .mov. MP4 is a Linux video file name extension, but because of the internet, now we have the MP4 as a default for Windows and Unix Mac, while the AVI file name extension is carried as a default of our popular operating system Microsoft Windows, and the MOV, which is a QuickTime file name extension used by the Unix, including our Mac. Next is our music file name extension. We have commonly used MP3 as a music file, but it's actually a movie picture or moving picture, which is in version 3. This is commonly used by Windows those time as a music file, but it is originally moving picture version 3. MP1, MP2, MP3, and MP4 or MP5 are moving pictures, which is a video file. But because of the misscript and misunderstanding of this file, the Microsoft used as a music file, but This is actually a movie or moving picture version 3. And also those times the audio companies are looking for a file that is compressed, not too large, but it is a music file. So that is why MP3 is now a music file extension. And that is why if you watch a MP3 file, you have a picture projecting on your player, the MP3 player in Windows. That is the picture that projected on the music. If you remove the picture or the album image, it is still a music. So you can remove the picture or the image on MP1, MP2, MP3, and MP4, or maybe in MP5. This is why MP3 is actually originally used by Unix and Linux. The WAV or the WAV is a WAV file, which is a music file or audio file default in Windows. And the last one, we have the document file, the file name extension for documents. This includes our docx, our doc or document, and now it was abandoned. Now it is called the docx or docs. This is the default Office Suite file name document of Windows or the Microsoft company. This is actually the most popular used document file in the computer world. Next, we have the PDF or the portable document file. This is actually used and developed by Adobe. Adobe was actually a Unix Linux application, but eventually moved out, and now it is focusing only in Microsoft Windows operating system. Next is our Open Document Text or Open Document File, ODF or ODT. It depends on what kind of document or file or text are you using. This Open Document File or text is actually used by our Unix and Linux. It is used by Apple computer, Mac, and our Linux, which is either in KDE, Ubuntu, Big Linux, Linux Lite, Linux Mint, Arch Linux, or any distro in our Linux. Next is the proprietary software or the proprietary document file name extension by Apple computers. We have the Pages. This is one of the a little bit lesser user base but very powerful. Pages is a document / presentation type of document which is mostly used by our publishing. This started as a publication application or software used by newspapers, books, and so on. This was a hit way back then in the early days of Apple computers. I think maybe it was in late 80s or 90s. If you have some question, feel free to ask me. Write it in the comments down below. So to recap our file name extensions, for picture, we have JPEG and PNG, which is very popular. In videos, we have MP4 and AVI. For our music, we have MP3 and WAV. And for our document, we have docs or docx and PDF. Those are our popular choices for our file name extension. Anyway, that's it for now for our computing science for grade 2 file name extension. I'm teacher Blair for KKU, Konkan University Demonstration School for International Division, together with our computer teachers, teacher SomSom and teacher Fong. Anyway, thank you for watching and do study, kids. Bye for now and see you in the next episode. Ciao!